Nope. Don't see it yet.
Well, on Facebook, seems like we're live. It seems like we're good to go solo. Twitch sending data. Periscope is online. We have one Hello, lone person on Periscope land. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go to our open. There we go.
We're not yet on Facebook.
Did you do your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have to give it a second, I guess. There it is.
There we go.
See?
Here we go.
Oh, and I don't need this up, so let's get rid of this. That helps. Okay, and back to here.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, Steve Rickyberg. How are you? Oh, turn off that. Hey, Nelson.
Hello,
hey,
everyone.
Brittany.
Jude, Robin,
Daniel.
Joseph, Danny. What's up, guy?
Jude's here. Jude's
Nelson,
here. Robin,
Brittany,
welcome home, Robin.
Carlo.
Carlo, nice to see you guys.
Hello, everyone. Daryl. Yes, it's time. We watched the Adesanya fight. Was it last night, baby?
Yeah.
Oh, how did that get there? That's a
I don't
mess.
know.
Let's
Yeah.
do this. There we go.
There we
Boom.
go.
Thank you. Hear that silly dragon over business.
Saturday.
And Bruce Buffer. Is it Bruce Buffer? Yeah, I think so. That dude, he doesn't give a crap if there's no one in the audience. That dude is working his butt off. What's up, Martin?
It was awesome. He was so fantastic and like working so hard. Like I was afraid he might blow a gasket in his head because he was screaming his head off. He looked not unlike.
Oh, he was
this
great.
scene.
He was great in a completely empty stadium. He was just busting it. Baby, are you ready to go live and say hi to these wonderful, lovely people? And here we go. 3, 2, 1, and shapow. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hi, guys.
We will let you know that if you are here with us today, you are not watching the debates. If you want to turn this off and go watch the debates, we will not be offended. We will be ending at 7 o'clock sharp, so that
Virginia said she's going to have them on both at the same time.
Yeah, just watch their mouths move and listen to my voice, and then vote for me. That's really the answer to all of your problems.
Actually, definitely
is to vote for me.
don't vote off ticket. Fucking don't vote off ticket. Just don't. Don't write in a goddamn thing.
Don't vote off ticket. That's okay, so much for my funny. That did not work out. Guys, we have all kinds of good stuff going on. To start with, one of the best things going right now. You know what? I'm gonna call this up.
Oh, Joshua, I totally believe that Bruce talks like that all the time. I absolutely hope when he goes to a restaurant, if he ever goes back to restaurants,
I'd
he's like
some French fries.
You know what I love about this place? I'll tell you. The grilled cheese sandwich.
Can I have broccoli instead of the potato? And which one is new here, sweetheart? I can't tell.
I deleted the other one. No. It's
go to filter by. I just want to make sure you guys get to see my awesome wife do her awesome thing here. Okay, well that's not going to work out. All right, let's go to Shabao. What do we got, girl?
We are drinking painkillers today. I did have to upload a new video. It turns out that there was some audio ducking in the original one.
That's delicious, baby. Holy cow.
Yeah, this is a real.
Hey, Jason.
It's a pretty standard classic Mai Tai. Tiki drink, and I like it a whole lot. It's pretty simple, and you can add a ton of liquor to it, and it still sort of tastes delicious.
I forgot the new John Vizcarra graphic, but we'll get that loaded up, courtesy of our buddy, our Bruce Press.
Jenna Leah, the pups are. You can see my little pup there behind me.
Yes,
right in the middle. They're feeling better. They're back to their normal regular selves. She's sleeping in the corner there.
I am extremely fancy with my fancy burnt orange, whatever color this is. You guys, Big John Vizcarra is in the chat room. He is the hardest working man in show business this week because it's just, I would say, up to 20 hours a day, he's getting random texts from me as I go through a final edit. And I'm just I know John has like a job and a family.
And a life and hobbies.
But when the idea is right here, I got to get it out because I don't know how to track my questions to ask them later. So, it's a 1:45 a.m. I'm like, oh, John, what about this? What about this? What about this? And then he answers them as he can. But he's working his ass off. You guys shall say thank you, John, for trying to keep the Siglerverse all buttoned up and continuity-ish.
Yes.
Is that a word?
Yes. Well,
it is. Okay.
We'll have to ask our continuities are to see if that's really a word.
He gets to decide the word. He knows a lot of good words. John does. Yes.
Yeah, he sure does. Yeah. Daryl, thank you. And Genelia, thank you. Yeah, we had a rough 10 days. And because of the new protocols, the safety protocols, it was literally like, well, if they're still getting better, just keep doing this. Don't bring them in because it's easier for them just to ride it out. And it took 10 days. My goodness. I will be happy to not have to do that for quite a long time with my dogs.
David Jacobs, you're welcome for the alternate programming. Scotty A. Parkin, how are you doing? Super Scotty from Canada. What's up? Welcome back to the fold. Where have you been? We have been looking all over for you, young man. We've been looking all over for you.
This whole time. We've been out here every day, two days a week.
Was that continuitize? Is that the word? Continuitize. Speaking of the pups, ladies and gentlemen, we have what we always have for you. Nothing more. Only the best for you guys. And on this heavily political day, let's go. Let's take a look at our opponents in tonight's debate. There they are right there. On the I should do a ring walk up for him. Hold on. Let's do a ring walk up for him.
Actually, that picture of Squeaky there on the little black and tan dog who's there on the right, I think, at least to me, she's on the right. That is her over the last week, I think, being super duper sick.
Oh, God,
you can see my feet. You can see my feet because she was sleeping on my belly to feel better.
On the left side, starting to get some gray around the muzzle with a white flash across her throat because every time this dog gets cut, she winds up growing white hair back in that spot. And she was killed at one point but came back to life because she is the dog of doom. Asking for her belly to be scratched, it is Reese. And on the right side, with the giant eyes and the big perky ears, finally stop pooping all the damn time so my wife can get some sleep, it is Squeaks Muggeeks.
I'm surprised you didn't call Reese the piece.
We'll do a ring walk up again. Another ring walk up later.
Those are great photos of those pups, and they are both feeling much better.
We are getting a little low on the pup date folder though. So if you remember,
I think I may have, not sure, but might have pictures of my pups. I will ask all of you guys who have been mostly staying inside and staying alone. What is that? Quarantined or whatever. I saw this on Facebook the other day. Somebody was like, okay, go and look at the last photo that you took before lockdown happened, and where were you? Like, what the last time you were at a store, at a concert, at a restaurant, things like that. And I will tell you before you run off and do it, like, be prepared because it's a little sad. But I did that, and I must have 1,000 pictures from the last 6 months of the dogs.
Excellent.
And of food. I have a ton of pictures of food I made.
I don't know if everybody can see Samorg. No, it's already gone. Samorg wins the Word of the Day challenge. And the word we're looking for, what John does, is continuities. That's right. Continuity.
I think so.
Continuities. That's what we're going with. It's very, very, very good. All right. Let's see. We've got a divisional semifinal matchup coming up with four high quality movies that are going to go slugging it out in the trenches every day. And then this is National Coffee Day, and I did my part.
Yeah, you did my part too, since I don't do it. National Coffee Day today, and also on Thursday, it's International Coffee Day. And for reasons unknown, the United States celebrates International Coffee Day differently than everyone else on Earth.
That's because we have to do things differently.
The whole world celebrates Coffee Day on Thursday, except for the United States, who celebrates it today. So we're just going to celebrate it twice, since you love the coffee.
I love the coffee. 2 pots of coffee today. Took care of myself. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Okay, and that's National Coffee Day. We got a great Story Smack coming up, you guys. It's going to be phenomenal. We are going to be watching The French Connection. 4 Academy Awards won way back when, in the long ago time of 1971, I think, something like that. Anyways, the greatest actor in the history of mankind, Gene Hackman, being I ain't playing by the rules cop. He's dog cop. He's rousing this bar. He's pouring himself a glass of water, and then he's going to go get some treats. Looking around at the juke joint to get some kibble, shaking hands, slapping paws. It's dog cop. Mondays at 6 p.m. on UPN. So we're going to be watching this movie. You guys, if you have not seen this movie, I highly recommend you go see it. You will see, if you've never seen this, you will see a chase scene that you have seen replicated in 100 different ways and 100 different movies. But when it came out, this was the innovator. It's one of the greatest chase scenes of all time. So if you like, what is the Matt Damon movie where he has the Alzheimer's?
Are you talking about Jason Bourne?
Bourne. You watch you watch this movie.
Wow.
Watch The French Connection, and you will see, a little Jason Bourne chase scene going on in there. Back to Maine. Here we go. So that's going to be fun. We want you guys to join us for that.
John Vizcarra, I mentioned this on Story Smack. Jude is in the audience. Some of the French Connection was filmed in the neighborhood where my dad's funeral home was when we were growing up, and where we lived, like we're in and around that area. Not a ton, but a little bit. And it's it's all that elevated train stuff.
All right. So Sherry, hello. Nice to have you back. Gareth, hello. Good day. From San Diego. And updates on the release of Mount Fitzroy? No, not yet. No. We're waiting to hear.
So we should have, what we can say is this. I'll give you a brief update. I actually had this content a little bit later, but I'll run through it now because there's not a lot of updates.
Okay.
I'm currently working with 3 printers to see if they can print, when they can print our book, and that's for the Gangster. So that we'll still do the digital as soon as we can and the print as soon as I can get it done. Having to contract with a new printer, so things have taken a step back. For Mount Fitzroy, we had our narrator, who is Ray Porter, was affected by the fires, the Western fires that happened over the last 6 weeks, and had to be evacuated. And so production on Fitzroy stopped, and then he had to recover his voice because, of course, you breathe smoke, it affects your ability to narrate. So he's back on track, he's back recording. We need to wait and see if he can finish by the middle of October. And if we finish by the middle of October, we have a release date planned, but we don't know because the book has to be finished and it's big. So we're going to see how he does in the next couple of weeks. That's our hope. And we'll be able to tell you in 2 weeks.
It's this big. It's girthy. It's turgid. It's thick. I would dare say this is a veiny book. Would you say so?
I'm definitely not.
No? Okay. All right. I have a different measurement system, apparently. We're in the middle of Nocturnal Throwback, 8 episodes left. Now's a good time to get in. ScottSigler.com/subscribe. We won't get into that now because we've got some great Siglebrations. We want to cover with everybody. Hey, what is our first Siglerbration?
The first Siglerbration is yesterday was the Sigler's 3rd month anniversary, and I'm celebrating that because I have a fantastic spouse. So there's that. But we have a couple of other ones too. We have a lot of wedding ones.
Tomorrow is Jan Jordan's 48th wedding anniversary. What a glorious accomplishment. Congratulations, Jan. That's 2 away from 50. And at 50, you get a free cup of coffee. That's great.
She sent in an interesting note that they have raised dozens and dozens of horses and rescued animals and all this other stuff. And she used to raise horses, but now that she's retired, she collects Breyer horses. And I am not a horse girl at all, so I had to Google that. And they are really beautiful small models of horses, I guess. And so I was so confused because I was like, wait, so if she's collecting horses, is that different than raising horses? But they're little bitty horses. They're little bitty fake horses. So that's that.
Robert Johnson asks, is there any chance of an Audible deal with the GFL 6? Like buy one, get one? Would love to own all the GFL audio on as well as on the books. We don't know. We don't control that. Yeah. We're always angling for little sweetheart deals. I look at Audible and I come up to Audible like this.
Hey Audible, how's it going? How's it going, Audible?
Is there something I can help you with?
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe my fans would like a little deal or something. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you have your arm around me, and I feel
that's
like
right.
That's an inappropriate business.
It's cuddly business. It's the cuddly business.
So I'm being Audible, which is to say, Audible owned by Amazon. This is not a thing we have a ton of sway over. And generally speaking, any kind of you can get this book for free in audio. You can get this book for free if you buy this other stuff. That is not a thing that we can control and not a thing they do with great frequency, I'll be honest with you. So we're hoping for daily deals, and we gun a lot for those. Yeah. But that's kind of about the best we can do.
I'm buying them flowers. I'm telling them they have really smart looking shoes. I'm doing all the things you need to do in business to assuming Audible wishes. And this is a huge, one of my favorite Siglebrations. Tomorrow is the Lundys' 4th wedding anniversary. And we love this because they had their first date at was it a Sigler Fest or did they meet? Mm-hmm. She came to Sigler Fest. Didn't they meet at a dinner of ours?
No. My understanding is, and you guys are both in the chat room, the Lundys are in the chat room, so correct us if we're wrong, but I believe that they went to school together. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They got back in touch as adults, chatted, decided that they did want to meet up. And Daniel said, hey, I have, go to this thing with a bunch of friends, and do you want to have that? Do you want to meet me there in
Oh,
Las Vegas
that's what
as
it
the
was.
first date?
Was that Vegas? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool,
so
cool, cool.
so that was their first date to as adult. You know, when they sort of re-met physically as adults, was coming to Siglerfest, and then
The rest is history.
yeah. So tomorrow is their 4th wedding anniversary. They also planned their wedding so that they could take their annual trip to Siglerfest. They did other things too as their honeymoon.
It was
but
awesome.
Part of it was
awesome.
the Siglerfest celebration, which I love. Congratulations to you guys.
Yes, very much. It's wonderful to have such things. We've had two children conceived at Siglerfest. The Lundys are not part of that, but Katarina Brown and then Shannon and Jen conceived at
No,
Siglerfest.
they did not.
Yeah, oh yeah,
They
for
definitely
sure.
Absolutely
Absolutely.
100%
No?
did not at all.
Dang.
But
okay.
they did do their
I thought maybe.
no, they did do their pregnancy reveal, the photo with you, so which was super adorable because
We should
it
find
was
we
like
should
a
find
little-
that and put it on the
yeah,
show.
and so we do. If you're unfamiliar, you probably have seen them. Bruce Press takes lots and lots of great photos, like team photos we call them. We hold the trophy and stuff like that, and Scott and I stand and take photos with anybody who wants to have that lovely professional photo. And when they got up there, Shannon took off, I think she's wearing a scarf or something, and she had a newest Kraken coming,
Yes.
next in
Yes.
whatever, and it was a little skeletal baby. It was so cute.
was great.
And that was their birth announcement, or their pregnancy announcement.
They did not do a gender reveal. They did a Kraken's reveal, which is way, way better.
Way
Because
better.
really, is as long as the kid's a Kraken's fan, who gives a damn what gender they are? Who cares? Just be a Kraken's fan. That's all that matters. Now, we've gone through that. You've gone through the printer update, I believe, too, right? Mm-hmm. We are too, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, another John Vizcarra feature of the day. Here we go, and boom. This week in Siglerism, can I please substitute French fries for the boiled potato? On September 29th, 2019, The Detective was released in the podcast feed. Let's see. Oh, I got to do this. Shabbat. Oh, look, I'm getting so slick now. We did a story smack of Seinfeld before there was Jerry before Seinfeld, which was really fun. Going back to Bones Are White in 2013, and in 2009, episode 24 of The Rookie, the remastered adult version. And we were in St. Louis, Missouri for the Rookie Tailgate Tour. It's hard to believe that 11 years have passed since that amazing fun time with all those Yes.
This has been one of my favorite things that have happened this month. Is the anniversary of us having done this tour, and so there've been tons and tons of photos on Facebook and Instagram, throwback photos and stuff, and it's been really charming. I can't believe how much the same you look. Just more facial hair. It's amazing. I look a lot different. I have a lot more hair. I have a lot less me. But other than that, I look a lot different.
When I threw in the towel on the receding hairline, and that was a very, very difficult decision to make as I guess early 30-something maybe. I can't quite remember. No, it was a late 20-something. I threw in the towel on shaving the head, and because I'm a doer. You can either be going bald or you can be bald. I thought I would be bald. And that, for all of you out there who may have a thinning, receding hairline, that's why it looks like I haven't aged a whole lot, because you don't see any difference in the hair. You just see
Which
a
is an
beautiful
interesting
bald
thing,
dome.
because that's such a age-based thing that happens to men.
Yeah.
And so I never even thought about that, but choosing to change it young means as you grew in your career, as you grew as an author, as you grew with the recognition, all that stuff, you looked like you.
Yeah, it was not planned at all. I was just like, I'm tired of this. I was in a band, of course, and I went to a new hairstylist, hair salon, whatever. Somebody who I'd never met before, because my person moved out. And, I was in a band, so I was a rocker. I sit down in the chair, and she was a very nice woman, but tatted up and piercings and stuff. So got the rock vibe, right?
Sure.
And I'm like, she's like, well, how do you want this? I'm like, I don't know. Just, make it something, do whatever you want. Make it something rockish and cool. And she kind of plays with it a little bit, and it's growing the silence is growing very uncomfortable. And I'm like, you can do whatever you want, and you can die. I don't give a dang. Just do something fun. You be you, creator. And she was like, well, there's not really that much to do anything with. And I was like, here's your $20, because that's what they cost back then. Here's your $20. Went home, just shaved. I'm like, done and out.
I have had the same stylist for 22 years, something like that, and back in the day, I have very fine hair, and so there's not really a lot I can do with it other than just let it be here. I can't curl it, doesn't stay curled, all that stuff. So I was like, what if I shave my head? And he was like, if you're going to do that, you just can't tell people that I did it for you. And I really was into it for a while because I had overcut my bangs and they were really, really short, which is another thing I'm not supposed to do, but I did. And then finally he was like, look, I will tell you. I will tell you honestly because you're my friend. We've traveled around the world together. We've been to India together. You know I love you. Your head is way too big for that. And I, like, you know, when he said it, he was like, the thing is, you have kind of a round face, but you also have kind of a big noggin. And so all that people, because my hair is so fine, it'll just be fuzzy on top. And it's, you know, the light will catch it a little because it's red blondish or whatever. And he was like, your head is way too big for that. You'll sort of look like an eraser on a pencil, but one of those husky pencils. I was like, say no more. We're done. Say no more.
Jim Locke in the chat room says, I shaved my pate when I was about 23 and then dogs himself to say, replying to Jim Lockett, cool story, bros. All right, guys, now we got to switch over to a little bit of a
John
sad
Vizcara,
news.
you're the sweetest. He said, it's not just your hair that's fine. Know what I'm saying? You're very, very nice. Also, I did want to say, Pete Marsh, I'm imagining you're saying today is your birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy
I'm
birthday.
so glad you told
Happy
us.
birthday. That's a celebration. Sean Dyer says he just found his first gray hair a couple of days ago. Shave it all. Shave it all. One of us. One of us. One of us. Yeah, Daryl, correct. People with a lot of brains tend to have big noggins.
Yeah.
That's why when I was a kid,
too many
when I was a
brains.
little kid, I looked like a light bulb. So, head like a light bulb is what my dad said. He's a very loving man. Let's see. And it's time for our. This is good news, bad news. This is our charity for this week is proliteracy.org, and that is our charity because a friend of the show, a person that we absolutely adore, his father-in-law passed away from genuine COVID. And we asked, what can we do to donate a little bit to the cause? And he checked with his family, and they said that the guy was a big reader, and a literacy charity would be the way to go. So we did a tiny bit of research, found proliteracy.org, and just in case you are actually out there with people in your social circle who believe that COVID is a giant hoax and is somehow part of a world government takeover, microchips in your skin. I don't fucking know. I can't even keep track of this horse shit. But I will tell you that the numbers are starting to add up, and eventually, odds are, you're going to know someone who had someone in their family croak, or someone in your family is going to croak from this disease. It has now happened twice in the world of Siglerism, and this is what we're donating to. So I'm not lecturing anybody, but this is a great little charity. Maybe tell them about this charity.
So one of the nice things about this charity is Pro-Literacy works for readers all around the world, but their focus is on non-child readers. Their main focus is people who got all the way through the education system all around the world who don't quite have proficient reading skills. And once you do that, it's quite difficult to progress in your career. It's quite difficult to do your civic duty. It's quite difficult to be safe when you go to the doctor, things like that. And they work on this. They work on literacy for adults who have either no reading skills or not good enough proficient reading skills, and they work in a non-confrontational, group, so that people can learn and they don't have to worry about learning and being embarrassed, and they can just get it done and get on with their lives. So we looked at a handful of charities. There are quite a whole lot of charities that focus on young readers and getting children educated so that they can read and continue to grow and teach themselves. But this one specifically is for people a little bit more like us, adult readers who have gotten out of the education system and don't have proficient reading skills.
All right, let's get back to here, back to Maine. Boom. All right, so now, of course, it is 6:24, which is the international time for movie fights.
Well,
Let alone fact.
Right before you start, my brother in the chat room said he's going to call me Kenny Head from now on. That's our biological dad, and he had the biggest Charlie Brown head on earth. I'm not going to lie to you guys; it was giant.
This is on the script. Oh, a couple quick things. Don't forget debates tonight, which means you still have time to register to vote. If you are an American citizen abroad or at home, you still have time to register to vote or to check your registration. Very, very, very important. If you're going to vote in this very important election coming up, you need to make sure that you are actually registered to vote, and vote.org is the place to go do it. You got 34 days, which means you've really got about 10 days to make sure you're registered if you do want to go bathe in the COVID. You can check your register to vote here, and this is an important one. Check that you are registered to vote. You may be surprised. If you do vote, if you do ask for an absentee ballot, you make sure you schedule time to go and hand deliver that to a polling place, because we don't want to rely on the U.S. mail at this point, one of the institutions of America. Don't want to rely on that. Make sure your voice is heard. Make sure you get your vote in. And then on another note, hey, baby, why don't you throw me a text? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Audible. Why don't you text me sometime? I don't care if it's 2 a.m. Throw me a text. Say, hey, Sig, where you at, man? And okay, this isn't that kind of text. This is a different kind of text. This is a text that will, if you text this, and you're not on this already, we send out texts for every one of these shows, sometimes for episodes, sometimes for momentous occasions, when GFL 6, when we have a release date for Fitzroy, things like that. So text me, sign up. We don't check it all the time. It's kind of half-automated system. Yeah?
I think Shannon Chevrier, do you have like a Dusty Linty Tic Tac or something in your drawer? Because she needs a prize. She said, do the orange and black panels keep multiplying every episode?
Yes, they do, Shannon. They keep multiplying. Also, Shannon, if you will tell A that you conceived your child at Siglerfest, I already said, then yes, you will get an absolute prize.
There's a thing called biology that prohibits that from being true.
You know what? I'm a maker of miracles. I'm a maker of the miracles.
What you're not? You're not a maker of a 4-month-old fetus at Siglerfest. That was Shannon.
Right. Now, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of day when you can say, come on and head for the bracket. Head for Bush Beer. Head for the bracket. Oh, my God. Look at this. Oh, Becky, look at her GSMOAT. That's right. The GSMOAT. The giant moat full of sports movies.
So I know that that's a gopher.
Yeah. Yes.
But that has reminded me, which I haven't seen in so many years, so I totally forgot till I just saw that. If you guys are on Instagram and you're people who like to follow animals on Instagram, follow Chuck the Chipmunk. Chuck has a whole garden that is just grown so that he can enjoy whatever he enjoys, and he eats it on camera. There's like a motion sensors cameras. It's very fun.
Okay, we'll take a look at that and let's see if we get Chuck the Chipmunk up and share that with you guys. But look at this. Look at all the work that we've all gone through together, ladies and gentlemen, to get to this point, to get to the North Division semifinals. And a lot of people have told me,
at least two people,
the North Division is probably one of the toughest, most grueling divisions in the GSMOAT, the giant moat full of sports movies. And what do we have today for you? Today, we are going to check the results of CADDYSHACK, a number 1 seed, versus Major League, a number 4 seed. As Dr. Danny Baker would say, chalk, which apparently just means the seeded team won, which I don't know a lot about betting. I don't bet. I go for sure things only, like Siglerfest action. You know what I'm saying? And then on the bottom, I mean, people do get pregnant at Siglerfest. It's a fact.
Well, at least one person got pregnant.
At least one. That one's all that matters, though. Now we're not over. And then on the bottom half, the other semifinal, Happy Gilmore versus The Longest Yard. One of the key upsets of the whole tournament. And The Longest Yard is 7 seed, upsetting the natural, a number 2 seed. So we're about to take a look at all that. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. Our leaderboard, these are all of the people who did a prediction for this tournament. Right now, in first place, we have a tie. That Was Hard and Busey's best picks. They both have a potential to get 30 right, to get through this bracket with only getting 1 game wrong. Although, That Was Hard is in a lot of trouble. You know why?
No.
Because Field of Dreams. Let's go back to take a look.
I can't. It's too far away for me to see.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no, I keep confusing the natural Field of Dreams. My bad. That Was Hard has Happy Gilmore, which is an important match today, Any Given Sunday, and Dodgeball in the Final Four. Busey's best picks, Rocket to Win It All, Major League, Hoosiers, and Bull Durham. So there's going to be some breaks there. And then as we go down the list, a lot of people, everybody's still in the running. Any given Sigler, probably all the way down, I'd say, to about here, which is where I am. Still has a shot to get into the hole to win it. Winner gets $50 at ScottSigler.com. Second place gets 25. No, second place gets 35. Third place gets 25. Let's go to the matchups. Baby, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, hold on.
What's happening?
Nothing. Here we go. Match number. You know what? We're going to go Caddyshack. We're going to do this one first. You always go the highest seed last to get the ratings. Let's do the improv ring walk-up. Here we go. In the right side, he is no longer with us, but when he was with us, he was spectacular. With a devilish smile and the laugh, it is Burt Reynolds. In one of the greatest football movies of all time, in the California penal system, it is The Longest Yard, the original Longest Yard, not the remake, and his opponent. On the left side of the screen, what most people don't know, one of the kings of the modern box office, with his balls front and center right on the edge of the giant hole that he's going to crawl into. He's got a driver. He's wearing plaid. He loves hockey. It is Happy Gilmore.
Bruce would be very proud of you.
I'm
Bruce would be very proud of
more
you.
in love with Bruce Buffer every time I watch a fight. Like
Me
that
too.
dude is just... Man, I'm surprised his scrotum did not come out an ear. He was just screaming so hard. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Enormous venue with the octagon in the middle and seating all around because it was being built last year for it to be a fight venue. And now, of course, it's an island unto itself and closed in Abu Dhabi because there's nobody coming. So he's there on the octagon, full of blood. The octagon itself, not him. And he's
Well,
and you
full of
can
blood
see,
too, but he kept it inside.
Yeah, two. That's two. But true. But you could see the vein that comes right here in his head, and he's screaming.
Oh my God, it was amazing. So
Having
good.
the
What a great
best
performance.
time.
Great
And,
performance.
By the time it was the title fight, he'd been screaming his butt off for literally 4 hours.
He was
And
like me at
the
Sigler
biggest
Fest.
one he did was the Adesanya Costa one, was the biggest one he did. It was lovely.
Thank you, Howard. Howard recognized it. Howard says, Scott incorporating the Burt Reynolds laugh into the ring walk-up wins all the things. Thank you. And Robin Taylor, if I did have any jelly beans in the drawer left over from giving the prize to Shannon, you would get the prize. Robin reminds us, Burt Reynolds was in both versions. And, of course, he was spectacular in both versions.
Yeah, I mean, he was an amazing guy.
That's this one right here?
Yeah, so this one.
No, this one. Yeah, that's where we are. Yeah. Okay, here we go. This fight has gone the distance. 5 rounds, and we come to a unanimous decision. The judge from Indiana scores it 56-32. The judge from the Ukraine scores it 58-30. And the judge from Abu Dhabi scores it 57-31. For the winner and the new entrant into having a shot at the Final Four, not really an upset, it is Happy Gilmore. You know what I gotta do.
I'm a little sad about this because
I am too. I am very sad. I mean, I love both movies. They're great.
Right, but there's such a fun, cool thing about watching a classic movie that's classic for a reason. There's going to be movies that we watch this year that are not going to do well 20 years from now.
Correct.
The problem will be solved. The game will be different, whatever. But we didn't have that problem. We don't have that problem with The Longest Yard. In fact, I think The Longest Yard is a football movie where you could still, if you're like me and relatively new to watching and enjoying football, you can learn a lot. With Unnecessary Roughness, I think, is one. I also think The Longest Yard. I'll be honest, I haven't seen the remake, so I only know the original one. But
we have to watch that shit. We have to get super high and watch that shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do it. I just, I'm a big fan of watching the original movie first, and the original movie is lovely. It's such a good movie. So if you have never seen The Longest Yard, even if you loved Happy Gilmore and that was the right thing to vote for, consider watching it because it's a lovely movie.
Hey, Audible. Your hair looks nice today, Audible. I like it. Audible, I think you got a great personality. You guys, you're going to have to deal with me hitting on Audible for a long time to try and shine Audible up to get you guys a great deal. Baby, are you ready for the second match?
Do you want any things you did not know about any of these?
How
dare you?
How dare you? How dare you? Hit me, baby.
So there's not a ton for The Longest Yard because, of course, The Longest Yard was before the internet. So there aren't a
good
zillion
call.
stories about that. But there are a few. In the final scene, or the final play of the game, Burt Reynolds is running downfield, and there is a player wearing a black jersey with the number 65 running with him. And that's his in real life brother doing that.
Oh, God, he got his brother in the shoot?
Yeah.
Oh, it's sick. So
I also
good.
love
So
that
good.
to fill the stands, he invited people who he thought would like to, who'd like to watch him work, but also would like to be part of the movie. And so in the stands during the games, his parents are always in the stands. Turns out Dinah Shore is in quite a goodly number of the scenes.
Dinah Shore, that's fantastic.
Which I love, yeah. She's like, can you imagine somebody as famous as Dinah Shore was in the mid-'70s being an extra, which is essentially what she was? I kind of love that. So there's just a couple for those. But then there's a couple also for Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore is such a hugely powerful sports, if you like multiple sports, like Adam Sandler does.
Yes.
There's so many. Carl Weathers is in there.
Carl Weathers is amazing.
Bob Barker is in there. There's so many things. But let's see. One of the ones I definitely wanted to...
Shooter McGavin.
So for their famous Braille on the Links, Adam Sandler and The Price is Right host Bob Barker won the very first MTV Movie Award for Best Fight in 2015. Or I don't think that was in 2015, was it?
I don't know. Continue.
Oh, no. In 2015,
revisited it, yeah.
Sandler and Barker reignited their Happy Gilmore feud on Comedy Central's Night of Too Many Stars. So initially, Bob wavered on doing Happy Gilmore, but when he saw how decisively he'd be depicted as winning the fist fight,
so great.
he bought in, which I love.
The price is wrong, bitch. It's a classic. It's a classic. Unbelievable. Okay, and then we're good?
Yeah, that's for now.
Okay,
That's good.
okay.
I don't want to outweigh Happy Gilmore. There's zillions for Happy Gilmore, but only very few for The Longest Yard.
Well,
so.
we give The Longest Yard it had a great upset, made it to the round of 16, the Sweet 16, and now it is out. Did not make it to the round of 8. So sadly, we will not be reviewing that on a Story Smack. All the winners tonight will be reviewed on a Story Smack, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the big one. This had to be tough. This had to be tough for a lot of people. Let's go to the bracket. Nope, we'll go to matchups. This had to be tough for a lot of people. Oh my gosh. 2 of the greatest sports movies of all time meeting in the round of 16. There's no question Caddyshack's a kingpin. And Major League has aged very well, done very, very well for itself. Let's introduce our fighters. In the pale blue corner, with the red mohawk, with the purple trim, and the green glasses, and possibly a piercing that should be in an ear, but a baseball doesn't have an ear, so that is a pierced baseball anus. It is Tom Berenger and Major League, because I just forgot everybody else in Major League.
Are you kidding?
Charlie Sheen.
Holy
and
cats, Corbin
Burnson.
Burnson. My goodness.
And some other people. Hold on. Now I got to do a tribute to Bruce Buffer. You ready?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So, you guys, you have to imagine that you are getting ready to fight in the UFC. Your movie is getting ready to fight in the UFC. And Bruce plants
Don't
himself...
tuck the thumbs.
Don't.
Fingers showing.
Fingers showing. Bruce plants himself center of the ring. Then when he does the intro, he finishes up the intro by looking getting right up close to the fighter and pointing right at him and like getting the fighter pumped up. That's what I'm going to do for you. You're the fighter. And here we go.
Oh, Lord.
Improv. Here we go.
That is definitely something outside, not any of us or our animal.
And the champion, the #1 seed in the Bermuda grass on hole number 19. It is Bill Murray, Ted Knight. Oh my God, I must have drank too much. Chevy Chase, and of course, it's Rodney Dangerfield, one of the greatest sports movies of all time. It is Bushwood Country Club, Be the Ball, Become the Ball. It is Caddyshack. Okay, I did an absolutely horrible job on that one. I did. I'm not going to lie. How do you forget? Anyways, if we go back, we go back to our open.
You started with
Rodney Dangerfield.
You started Major League with Tom Berenger. What?
It was not.
At least you started Caddyshack with Bill Murray, which is good. You didn't say like, oh, what's the go first? What?
I picked a hell of a week to stop sniffing glue, you guys. A hell of a week. Let's go back. Let's get. Oh, baby, do we have any information on these movies?
We do.
All
well,
right.
I have things you may not know.
Things you might not know about
So-
Major League and Caddyshack. It's two wonderful movies. Great cast. Wonderful production. What do we have?
15
Darling?
things we didn't know about Caddyshack. The
Okay.
film had a simple premise. Following the success of Animal House, screenwriters Doug Kenney and Harold Ramis pitched a handful of ideas for new movies to Orion Pictures. Every idea got rejected. When the duo teamed up with Brian Doyle Murray to pitch the concept of Animal House on a golf course, the idea received an immediate green light in the room, which I kind of love.
How do you come off of Caddyshack? I'm sorry. How do you come off of Animal House and get no's? I don't like your idea. You know, I mean, you got lucky with Animal House. The frat house, sweaty guys, Belushi, everybody can. It's easy. It's easy. I mean, you got lucky. It's fine. But I don't like your new idea. How do you say no to
Well,
that?
and the crazy thing about that is coming off of Animal House is such a huge powerhouse of in that moment, Hollywood power.
Yeah.
They're not people like Scorsese is today, 50 years later. It's not that, but they are very powerful people in Hollywood at the time. So it's amazing to me that they couldn't walk in and do like a 3-picture deal, which I guess might not have even been a thing back then. Who knows?
Maybe. But all the no's that A and I have gotten in Hollywood were just like Harold Ramis, obviously, because we got the no's. Let's take a look. Let's see who won this. Sorry. Good, baby.
You
Good.
want another one. Harold Ramis had never played golf before agreeing to direct Caddyshack. He has played golf since, and he played golf before starting Caddyshack.
All right.
And then let's see. A couple, 3 things that we didn't know about the movie Major League. Apparently, we don't know who stars in it.
Oh my God. I see. The honeymoon's over. 3-month anniversary. Now the honeymoon is over. Okay.
There were 20,000 extras in the stands being fans. They were all
got
paid.
20,000 people in the
And
stands?
they were all paid. They were not paid since it wasn't in Hollywood. They were not paid like L.A.
Holy
per diem,
shit.
but they were all paid and they all got fed, which I kind of
Oh
love.
my God. See, now go back, if you guys ever watch Major League, then do a double feature with Major League and Jerry Maguire. And in Jerry Maguire, you can see in those final end zone scenes, they've got literally like 300 extras, and they cram them all into the frame, and they shoot one very specific angle so that you can't tell there's only 300 people. They got 20,000 people in
Yeah,
there.
but they also did a
Crazy.
handful of really cool things. So they built higher, shallower
Stands?
so that it looked a lot more closed
Wow.
in.
Did they shoot this at, did they shoot it at an existing stadium, or did they build a
I
purpose-built
think
stadium?
I'm not exactly sure, but I think it was a practice field. It was like a
okay.
spring training
Great.
field.
Gotcha.
They also did a handful of camera trickery to help manage the speed of baseball, because the like Charlie Sheen's character is supposed to pitch over 100 miles an hour. Charlie Sheen was a pitcher in high school, pitched in the late 80s, but never got above that when he was on field for Major League.
He could throw a high 80s fastball? Really?
Well, he could back then anyway.
Oh my
I don't know
God,
about
that's
now.
still pretty tight.
So when he was on field for Major League, he could still throw in the late 80s.
Wow.
As an adult out of high school, but he couldn't get anywhere near the 100 miles an hour.
That
of course.
tiger blood's something else, man.
It must be. He was definitely winning back then.
He was knocking out them chicken dinners and throwing that hate.
But what they did was they shortened the distance between the pitcher's mound and home plate, so that, and then they slowed down the film and they filmed in slow motion. So speeding that up to regular speed, it looks super fast.
And you know what's crazy now is you shoot a baseball movie now. There's no ball at all. It's just all CGI. They do all the CGI. It's, you know what? Hey, Audible. That was some brilliant commentary you had.
Oh Lord.
Audible.
Oh, Lord.
I just want you to know I've been watching movies for a long time. I've never heard anybody analyze a movie that good before. Audible, you're fantastic.
Do you see the things I do for you guys? Do you see the things I do for you guys? Do you see my crazy little dog back there?
Okay, you see her?
Sleeping it off?
I'm not the only one having a cocktail, apparently. All right, let's get to the winners, and then I'm going to show you guys a squirrel. Not a merkin, a squirrel. Here we go. Let's get back to our matchups.
Rob Otto says it was shot at County Stadium in Milwaukee.
Thank you, Rob Otto.
Milwaukee.
Thank you, Rob Otto. And we have a stoppage, a technical lockout at 3 minutes minutes and 15 seconds of the third round. It is the only movie that could have possibly won this contest. The possible champion of the world, overcoming the young man who could throw the 80-mile-an-hour, got that heat, but he goes down swinging because it is Caddyshack. Moving on to the chance to become a Final Four contender, Caddyshack. Dude, let's be honest. Major League was fucked. There's no chance. Zero chance.
Yeah,
I've got $4 in the swear jar so far. No chance.
There's a Kim Hansen is on.
Hold on. Let's see if Kim's listening. Audible.
Oh,
I know
Lord.
you say you don't hear me, Audible, and I get that. You got your own agenda. You got things to do, important things to do. But hear me, Audible.
I respect that.
Just give me a chance. Give me a chance to just sit down and chat with you. I'll stay on this side of the table. You stay on that side of the table. Hey, if some flowers show up, maybe some chocolates, a little jewelry, it's just a token of my affection. That's all it is, Audible. Just listen. Just listen.
Not even the dog is impressed.
Dogs are always impressed.
Definitely just sleeping through it, the whole thing.
All right, here we go. Let's do the nasty, as they say, as the kids say. The kids always say, let's do the nasty. Rob Otto's a kid. He says it all the time, as a matter of fact.
I don't think any of that is true.
Where are we at? Right here. Let's check out our winners. We have Caddyshack with a powerful. They won all the rounds and then finished. They were up 30-28 when this was over. Submit scores. And then we got to go over here. And the longest yard, sadly, I would love to have done a story smack on the longest yard, but it is not to be. 57-31.
Nope. Right, the other way around.
Oh, sorry. 31-57. 57. That's my rap name, 57. I'm not 57, I'm 57. That's because alphabetically, that's where I was in my third grade class, 57th.
Okay, good to know.
Let's go back to submit scores.
They were not painkiller number 4s tonight. I don't know what's gotten into him. Apparently Audible.
Damn it, it did not work. You sons of... Yeah, Audible. Listen, I'm going to change. I'm going to become a better man for you, Audible. Become a better man.
Verify the winner? No?
Yeah?
Yep, that way.
Oh, I see. That's what happened. All right. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, Caddyshack, Happy Gilmore moving on. The winner of that will be in the Final Four and will face the winner of Karate Kid versus Bull Durham and versus the winner of A League of Their Own in Dodgeball. Let's go to the leaderboard. Here we go. The moment everybody's been waiting for. Everybody's been waiting for this moment. Here, we're going to refresh this. And who is in first place? That was hard. Still in first place. Well done. Oh, there he is. As if I haven't been telling you guys all along that the mensch, the Ubermind, Danny the Dolphin Lundy, the deal maker, Danny the deal maker, the Dolphin Lundy. There's too many D's in there.
There's definitely a lot of D's.
Bumped up into second place. You guys all thought I was full of the beans. Full of the beans when I said don't trust the Lundy. He always wins these games, and there he is at number 2. I'm kind of impressed. Plus he's got Caddyshack winning it all, so it's very good for him. Let's see how everybody else is doing. Oh, number 3. Oh, look at this clear lineup. And number 3, the GSMOAT Lagour. He is a moat full of Lagour. He's got Rocky winning it all, Karate Kid, Creed, and Caddyshack. And then, of course...
this is not a bad choice, Rocky, to win it all.
These are great. And then Busey's best picks coming in at 4. And coming out of nowhere, classical high stick fun in 5th, and then Game of Mao still in it to win it, skin it, grin it, and spin it. There's Game of Mao.
Let's see where I am.
Okay, baby. Look who moved to number 10. Does the FDO know his peeps? We will find out. Let's go to the bottom of the bracket. Let's take a look at who's at the bottom of the bracket. Oh, we have Jon Stewart from Comedy Central in our thing. That's great.
Love that.
Love that. He's a big fan. You guys don't know this. He's a big fan. ABS winner is in last place.
Well, there's somebody who just voted Slapshot, but they didn't even vote the whole bracket.
Untitled. Someone who couldn't even bother to fill in their name.
They're doing worse than I am.
There's actually an Untitled ahead of you too, so that's an Untitled and Slapshot did not bother to pick all the way through, so you are in last place, Sugar Plum.
Yes,
All right,
I am number 1 at last place.
Okay, it is 6:48. Is there anything else? Oh, I know what we're going to cover, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and take a look. Another plug for proliteracy.org.
Well, that's actually Chico the Chipmunk.
Oh gosh, darn it! Is it?
Yeah.
You know this by sight?
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas.
I mean, I spend
You
a
know
lot of
you're-
time on Instagram just watching.
Do we have-
Maybe it's Chuck the Groundhog. Chuck the Groundhog.
Oh, Chuck the Groundhog. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, of course, it's got to be Chuck the Groundhog, but I just assumed I was wrong.
So if you scroll.
And he shows up.
I love him so much. And they have like 5 or 6 different, I think just camera stations around their garden. Sometimes he eats sometimes he's eating like this, I think is like a carrot or something, but he'll be holding a whole different vegetable. He'll be holding like a rutabaga or something that he's gonna save for later, I guess.
I think he's eating the souls of his enemies is what I think he's doing.
I love him.
That's not a video. See, there's one more video. Here we go. Here's Chuck getting down to business. Little drink of water. Oh, he's adorable. Look at him.
He's very, very cute. I don't know anything about Chuck groundhogs, but I bet they're a handful.
Well, they've got opposable thumbs, which is little known, and they do know how to work computers, but nothing past 87. It's all old school decks.
Fair.
You know, stuff that's more simple. They're into programming their own. They don't like the user interfaces
I
of the
think
day,
that
modern day. They don't
your
like
friends in the chat room are a little worried that you've had too much to drink.
I have not. I have absolutely not. All right. Yes, Tracy was the Belgians responsible for all this. Okay. Joseph Anderson, hello, everybody. Hello. The Belgians. Yes, Bruce, the Belgians spiked my drink. I'm just happy. I'm getting all my happy out now before I go down and watch the tail end of the debate.
True.
That is what I'm doing. Do we have any questions? Maria D'Souza says groundhogs are terrible drivers. Yes, because they can't reach the pedals, Maria. That's why you need 3 groundhogs. This is well known.
Or
Groundhogs-
one groundhog and Bill Murray.
Yeah, 1 groundhog and Bill Murray. That's true. That's true. But you need 3 groundhogs. This is why they hang out in trios. It's called a trio of groundhogs. That's the name. They hang out together because one steers, one works whatever mid-level controls, and then one is down there working the pedals. The only real problem occurs when the one driving has a mouthful of rutabaga or tomato or any other vegetable you just saw, and they can't quite pronounce to the person on the ground when it's time to hit the brakes. And that does not go well. It does not go well.
I do love Jen Sherwood just said we need a cocktail called the Audible, which I love that.
Hey, Audible. I thought you might be interested in seeing my transition stare. It's more of a transition. Come hither, look. But you know I respect you, Audible, so it's going to look like this. Hey, Audible. We should hang out sometime. I want to hear everything that you think on the subject of, I don't know, putting books on sale. Maybe a 2-for-1 deal. Wouldn't that be nice, Audible? It's got a nice ring to it. 2-for-1 deal.
I figure if you're going to be flirting with Audible, I'll show you the sleeping dog too.
Go get Audible. We'll call Audible today. Go get Audible.
So we do have a couple of
I'll go
time
get
for a
Audible.
couple of short questions.
Good questions.
Did you name the dog
meant
Audible?
dog Audible.
I didn't realize that he had renamed the dog Audible. She does feel better, but she probably does not like being woken up from her nap. Sure.
Questions. Let's knock them out. Here we go. We're gonna finish
Tracy
up
Shank, who
questions.
was in the chat room earlier in a different chat room, asked Gonzo or Elmo.
Gonzo. Question from Kim Hansen. Serious question. What does a Sigler say to someone who's not wearing a mask in a store? We avoid them and just walk around that person. Give them the run of the place because them motherfuckers be crazy. And you don't need crazy. Life's crazy enough. Just move around, man. Come around, man. What else we got, babe?
Howard DiNatale asked, have we story smacked the 1970s invasion of the body snatcher? If not,
Oh, God,
why
no.
not?
Because we're horrible people. And we have a track record of drug abuse and auto theft and graft. And also, we tried counterfeiting, but we weren't very good at it. I don't have the motor skill to really get in there.
I tried to get him to use a printer, but he kept
the
trying to do it
details.
with his hand.
Yeah,
Just his
yeah.
paintbrush and licking. And it just didn't
Yes.
work out. So, no, we haven't. We try really hard to do things. A lot of the programming that we do on SIGLERinPLACE, on StorySmack, all of that is easily consumable while you're doing other things. Because we know you're all like, some of you are going out to work every day, some of you are doing school every day, some of you are doing school and going out to work every day. There's a whole big mix. And so having to work hard to just hang out and enjoy it is so far a thing that we're not quite ready to commit to. So they're going to be much more accessible, easy to do things. And Invasion of the Body Snatchers, particularly the 1970s one, is nuanced enough that it's worth having more attention than I wonder if we have right now. The same thing may actually be true about the French Connection, so we'll see how it goes.
It would be Invasion Body Snatchers would be a good one to do, because that is for a while I was trying to collect first edition books of some of my favorite books and stories and movies, if the movie is based on a book. And we have, I think, like a second edition or third edition of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's an important book for me because it's not girthy, it's not turgid, it's not veiny. It's very thin, and it tells, but it's very much a complete story. It's very good. So that'd be a good one to do. John Viscar asks, will there be a Q&A for the current podcast, the Nocturnal Throwback? I believe that there will.
Yeah, I think that there will.
Yeah.
It may be a hybrid. It may be a little more like this, or like our current Story Smacks that are video. We do have a whole bunch of people, and like you, and you should continue to do this. If it's ice cream day and you send in ice cream, if you are sending, I know that Tim GSMOAT North sent in pictures of his pups, kind of enjoying the evening, things like that. Once we're done with the bracket, we're going to have a wrap up sort of a thing where we go show a lot of the pictures that you guys have sent in over the last few months and all that other stuff. And it's almost assuredly going to be combined with a Q&A, a post Nocturnal Q&A. We talked about it, but because all the Q&As are certainly about everything that Scott does, we figured, why not? Even though we've already had a Nocturnal Q&A.
Yeah, and it's Q&As are super, super duper fun. All right.
Noisy, you're right. Not his pups, y'all's pups.
I missed what's going on. What's happening?
I said that Tim had sent in photos of his pups, and the noisy astronomer, rightfully so, got on my case for calling them his pups.
Noisy got pissed.
Macy is for sure Mama's pup.
Oh, we're gonna watch. We're gonna go in. Oh my God, we're gonna go do it. Like, this guy, why are these not allowed to be pets? This makes no sense. That should be a pet. That should be a pet. I mean, granted, those teeth could carve out a chunk of your skull, and that tongue would like clean out your brain pan, but still, very sweet. Very sweet.
I bet your brains would be kind of sweet too.
My brains, of course, are sweet. Hey, Audible.
Oh my God.
You know my brains are sweet because I got sweet thoughts
Good
going
Lord,
on all
save
day.
me. Good Lord, save me.
All right. It is some more guests, of course we do. It is 6:56. We'll answer a couple quick questions. We're going to finish up at 7 o'clock sharp. That will include the big smooch, because we have a big smooch for all you guys. Is there anything left? Do you have another question? Maybe
Mitch Myers asked if you ever have the desire to write nonfiction, and if so, what would you like to write?
I really honestly don't. I would like, the only nonfiction I can think I might like to write is some kind of football for dummies type approach, where I've read Football for Dummies, and it's great. Even if you know a bunch about football, you learn a ton from Football for Dummies. But something with kind of football book with more real world examples, like, okay, so here we have a kick out route. Why is that like crossing the street on a red light? You know, things like that. So for people who don't have the code base, if you will. You like that throwback? You like that? People who don't have the code base of sports who come into this and want to understand it. Football is so full of thousands of little tiny, easily understood things that all build on each other. And if you don't know 40% of them, you're not going to understand the rest at all. And it's kind of a miasma. It's a miasma.
It's a miasma.
Anything else?
Sure. James Keeling asked, did you read pulp fiction novels as a youth? And if so, which ones?
I did not. I still have not gotten into those too much. I keep trying to do books that are normal people doing normal things, even if those normal things are, you know, like, who's the one author you turned me on to? Bukowski? What's that called? Post Office?
Yeah, he has a handful, but
Charles
I think
Charles Bukowski, Post Office. He's a big fan. I read it. Great book. Loved it a lot. But I'm like, I'm not going back to that well because, okay, this is a guy who's banging a bunch of people and working in a post office and doing the best he can to get by. And I'm like, I can kind of see that around me all the time in one way or another. See acquaintances go through similar things. So I tend to gravitate towards, you know, fantasy, science fiction, the speculative stories where things happen that would never happen in a normal world. Those are more of the things that hold my attention.
Let's see. Did we already do this? What's your favorite city in the world? I think we did, right?
Because it changes all the time. We probably did. But right now, I think
we maybe asked, this is Amy Reed and Jim Lockett asked both of us, what is our favorite city in the world and why? And I feel like maybe somebody asked where we'd like to travel to if we could. So they're similar but different.
We talked about the sandwiches in Paris. Because all of my travel involves sandwiches. All of it.
So for me, I'll answer first. My favorite city in the world is absolutely New York City. It tethers me to my youth. It tethers me to my family. It tethers me to all the things I love, like theater and publishing, and melting pot of lots and lots of different cultures and flavors and menus and hobbies and things like that. I think I might feel exactly the same way had I grown up in a adjacent to a similar city like London or San Francisco. Or
What if you'd grown up in Sheboygan?
I probably wouldn't choose Sheboygan because it doesn't have a lot of those things I just mentioned, like many cultures and many menus. And
We've got as many as one culture in Sheboygan.
And
one culture.
how many theaters do you have in Sheboygan?
Oh, well, actually, we had, the Gold Front is fallen down. The Gold Front was a great theater because while you were at the theater, if you caught a rat, you got your next movie for free. I'm not even making that up. That's absolutely 100% true.
Let's back up. I was speaking of New York's theater scene, not movie theaters. Yeah.
Gotcha.
What about you? What's your favorite city and why?
I don't know. Vegas has been so fun for a number of reasons. I've been to New York both with and without you. New York is fantastic. You know that city of a million stories, whatever the phrase is.
Mm-hmm.
I can't walk around New York without coming up with story ideas all over the place. I'll probably go somewhere in that regard. San Francisco was, but I lived there for 10 years, and that'll take the shine off of stuff when you live there for long enough. So you know what? I'll go with New York. Hey, Audible. I hear you like New York.
I will also say that specific question was, what is your favorite city in the world and why? I will say one of my favorite things about cities, I find in a lot of places. Last summer, I got a chance to visit my friends Shannon and Jen in Austin, and we went to see the Goonies at a restored old proscenium stage theater, and that was gorgeous and lovely, and it was a beautiful downtown. And Fort Worth has a beautiful downtown. Similarly, has a beautiful downtown. Savannah has lots of lovely old architecture and things to look at. Miami has lots of new architecture and things to look at. So I will also say that I'm a fan of cities because it is the way, that's what I'm used to. But I bet that tiny little small towns all across the world have lovely, wonderful things I would like to check out too if I ever get traveling.
Sometimes they have good sandwiches.
I'm for sure they have good sandwiches.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to catch the tail end of the debate. We will be back Thursday, which is September 31st, or is it October 1st?
It's October 1st, so tomorrow is September 30th.
We have a script.
And it's International Podcasting Day, but it's not a day that we're doing SIGLERinPLACE, so I thought I would mention that. And then we're back to coffee again on Thursday. So send us pictures of you guys drinking coffee or eating coffee ice cream or whatever you do.
And we will be back on Thursday, October 1st, which, as A said, is International Coffee Day.
Until then, though, we want you guys to stay safe.
Stay smart.
Stay science.
And for the love of science, stay informed. Listen to people who have studied things and know what they're talking about.
We love you guys so much.
See you all.